Hello, today we're going to talk about how to find missing angles in quadrilaterals. In our last video, we talked about finding missing angles in triangles. This is going to be really similar. The only difference is now we are introducing a fourth angle into the equation. Also, that's going to change what our entire equation is equal to. So let's take a look. In a quadrilateral, which is a four-sided and four-angled figure, all of the angles of every quadrilateral ever in the history of humankind and beyond add up to 360 degrees. All right, no matter what the individual angles themselves may be, all angles in all quadrilaterals add up to 360 degrees. Because of this, if you know at least three of the angles, you can always find the fourth by setting up an equation and solving for the variable. All right, so here we have a quadrilateral that is missing one angle down here. But we do know that this angle and this angle are both 35 degrees, and this angle is 145 degrees. Therefore, we can set up our equation. Let's start by plugging in what we know. We know that we have an angle that is 145 degrees, and then we have a couple angles that are both 35 degrees. Also, we have our missing angle x. When we add those all up, we should get 360. So the first thing we ought to do is combine our like terms here after we set up our equation. So we're going to add 145, 35, and 35. 35 plus 35 is 70, and 70 plus 145 is 215. So the equation becomes 215 plus x equals 360. All right, so our whole goal is to figure out what x is all by itself, so we have to get rid of this 215. We can't just erase it or throw it out. We have to actually subtract it. In an equation, in order to keep it balanced, whatever you do to one side of your equal sign, you have to do to the other side. So we subtracted 215 over here. We also have to do it over here. So this is going to give us that x is 145 degrees. All right, so this is 145 degrees. Okay, what you may notice is that it is identical to this angle over here. They are congruent. Right? And that will happen with a lot of quadrilaterals. Okay, so let's do a few more examples. All right, here we have some, they're kind of irregular quadrilaterals. They don't really fit into a category of quadrilateral. They're not strictly, well, a couple of them are trapezoids, but then a couple of them are just kind of funky weirdos. They don't have parallel sides. They don't have congruent sides. They're just oddballs. So let's find the missing angles in each of these, though. So beginning with this first one, we have these three identified angles, and we're missing this. So just start with a simple equation, 64 plus 145 plus 63 plus b equals 360. All right, combine our like terms. And we get that 281 plus b equals 360. So let's subtract 281 from both sides of our equation. All right, and we find that b is equal to 79 degrees. Okay? Over here, this quadrilateral. We have these three identified angles, 81, 99, and 79, and then we have this missing angle. So let's start with this equation. 81 plus 99 plus 79 plus b equals 360. Combine your like terms. We get that 259 plus b equals 360. Subtract 259 from both sides. We get the b is equal to 101 degrees. All right. I think that's probably good enough. So I hope that this makes sense to you, and I hope that you can use it.